Greetings and salutations. Please allow me to welcome you to Masterpiece Theater. I'm your host, Obba Babatunde, and here on Masterpiece Theater, we celebrate the very best in the spoken word, the written word, and the word expressed in song. In addition, we pay tribute to the talented artists that bring those words to life. Each week here on Masterpiece Theater, I have the pleasure of engaging brilliant artists in one-on-one conversation that explores the great treasures and these writers and actors and singers and dancers possess, as we spotlight their artistry that illuminates us all. So I say, a very warm welcome. Well, welcome back to Masterpiece Theater. And now listen, we're all familiar with the iconic James Brown song, It's a Man's World. For today's show, I'd like to bring to your attention a wonderful new work that is a bit of a departure from that theme. Last week at the Nate Holden Ebony Repertory Theater, I had the pleasure of seeing a captivating new work titled This is a Man's World, and I have the pleasure of welcoming to Masterpiece Theater the creators and some of the performers from that captivating piece. Joining me in studio today, and I'm so thrilled to have them here, are co-writer Rana Davis, producer Conroy Harding, and actors Seth Cassell and Demetrius Grosse. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here, and welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Very much.
No, it's a joy. It's a joy. Now, Rana, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not able to live stream, and you're missing, the enormous beauty of this lady who's in the studio.
Oh, bless you.
Not only is she beautiful, she is really brilliant and talented.
It is quite a treat.
Thank you, Conroy.
Now, listen, I'm gonna read a little bit about Rana, if I may. Originally from New York City, writer-director Rana Davis began her career as a singer-songwriter actress, traveling the world principally in musical theater, which I also hail from, stadium concerts, industry showcase, and commercial productions. Highlights include touring the continental of U.S., the U.K., and Europe all the way as far back as the Far East, and again finding her way back to Broadway tours in tributes, singing with show bands and headliners. As well as recording, she has been blessed to learn from and work with some of the best in the business. Rana also freelances as a casting director, specializing in sourcing vocal talent, which led her to the amazing stint doing an A&R for a major company in the UK. Her experience runs the gamut across all media platforms. Rana recently hung up her microphone and created TARRT Inc., which we'll talk a little bit about. It's a full-service production company that is focused on branded content, scripts, and show development and the show production, increasing the efforts of event productions, the production element. Now, with the newly formed Davis Gann Productions, whose focus primarily focuses on charity, but not only on that, charity and fundraising and high-profile events. Again, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the beautiful and the talented and the lovely Rana Davis.
Thank you so much. That was lovely. Do I have time for all that?
It's amazing how much one works into doing all that you do. Now, I'm going to go down the line, and then I'm going to come back to you, Rana, and talk about how you got involved with this production, and we'll talk about your collaboration with Leo and how you guys came together.
Okay.
But let me talk a little bit about, so this our listening audience has an idea of who's in studio. Conroy Harding. Conroy Harding has been producing theater in New York City and Washington, D.C. for the past 5 years. Recent transplant to Los Angeles. Welcome, my friend. He is trained in both an accountant and an attorney, and his passion is helping talented artists of all types protect, and exploit their work. We appreciate that. Welcome, my friend.
Thanks
you so
for
much.
having me.
Absolutely.
And can I say, brother, I've been a fan of your work for years.
Well, thank
so
you
this is
very
certainly a treat for me.
And
to
all
be in
of
the
us.
studio with you, and I just wanted to say that. Thanks for having me.
Oh, listen, it's an honor. You know, I get such a joy out of having, you know, the opportunity here on Masterpiece Theater to introduce and welcome talents such as yourselves. You know, speaking of which, that leads me to Seth Cassell. Seth, I got an opportunity to see work this past weekend in the production. Let me tell you a little bit about Seth. Seth is originally from Northern Virginia. He spent his early years performing whenever and for whoever would listen, Seth says.
That's true.
Seth attended Point Park Conservatory in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for acting. And once he finished with his degree, Seth came to Los Angeles. He has made several feature films, including General Education, Hold Your Breath, Cheerleader Camp, Sex Pot.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Welcome, Seth. Thank you so much for being here, my friend.
Thank you for having me. It's a
Yes,
pleasure.
indeed. Yes, indeed. I saw your work this weekend, man, and you know what? We're going to get an opportunity to hear some of that today. And I'm telling you, you really put it down, and I'm really excited about this because just the nature of this piece is so exciting. But let me talk about my buddy here, Demetrius Grosse. Now, we go back a little bit, and
A little bit.
he's a dear friend of mine, and Demetrius, the fact that you would take the time out of your day, because ladies and gentlemen, this man is extremely busy, as all of the guests are. But I know all the work that he does, and for him to take the time to come out and share this time with us today is extremely thrilling. Let me tell you a little bit about him. An award-winning American stage, film, television, and film actor, as well as producer. Born in Washington, D.C., his educational background is quite extensive. A graduate of Carnegie Mellon University, studied at Howard University, Oxford, the University of Cape Town, and RSA Conservatory. He burst onto the scene with television audiences when he was studying with Al Finn. And he has worked on shows like ER, Heroes, Justified, and Alan Ball's upcoming Banshee. Is that correct?
That's
Banshee?
correct, yeah,
Okay. Now, Demetrius also volunteers with Young Storytellers Foundation. That's an LA-based youth screen initiative, and plays a pretty mean trombone.
All right.
Yes, indeed. Welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for being
It's been a
here.
long time coming for us to get together and begin to scratch the surface on what God asked us to do together, man. So I'm really privileged.
Yes,
and,
indeed. Yes,
and
indeed.
pleased to be here with you today, Obba. I'm a longtime fan, and you've been a mentor of mine for several years now. So I feel very privileged to be here in the studio with you. Thanks a lot.
Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. Now, this is a very provocative piece, and I'd like to thank all of you for your contributions in this creation. So rarely do we get a glimpse at the private realm of the male mind. Not only because of the social restrictions imposed on us by, a cultural that sometimes is puritanical in its origins, but also because of the barriers that we place upon ourselves in order to keep hidden the world of those things that we'd rather keep secret, either to guard our identities or to simply give some sort of mystique to our personalities. Now, I'm going to read your log line, and then I'm going to come to you and ask you, Rana, to share a little bit with me about the piece. The log line reads, "This is a man's world. Uses monologues to explore a series of thoughts and feelings, not often expressed in polite company. This is a man's world is a bold examination of the inner thoughts and workings of the male point of view." Now, Rana, tell me, as a woman, how is it that, you became involved, and we'll talk about your partner, Leo Breckenridge, and I'm hoping Leo is the author along with Rana of this piece, and it was conceived by him, and hopefully he's going to be he's working right now on a project, on a pilot, but hopefully he might get a break and be able to call in and talk to us while he's in a break off work there. But Rana, please tell me how this matured and came together.
Well, I met Leo at a reading for a film written by a good friend of ours, Tommy Oliver, in 1982, starring Hill Harper and Ruby Dee. Just had to plug that in there. And Leo and I got to talking, and it was an instant love affair.
Okay.
He's such a wonderfully dynamic and passionate young man, and he told me about his concept for this piece. And as a newborn producer, I was immediately hooked. So we went to dinner, and we started talking about it. He sent me the first two pieces he had written,
Right.
and that scratched my writer's itch. And I said, "Do you mind if I take a pass at one?" And he said, "No, sure, go ahead." And so I did, and he loved it, and the collaboration was born. And 6 months later, and a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and a couple fights, here we are.
More than a couple fights.
Oh, no, not more than, well, maybe more than a couple. But
Like family, though.
But like family, yeah. He's my brother, he's my son, he's my friend, he's my coworker. I love him, and I'm just so blessed. This has been one of the best and most rewarding things that I've done in my career, and it's through the graciousness of him allowing me to collaborate with him. So I have to take this moment to say thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, as a producer, Conroy,
Yes.
what attracted you to this property?
Well, have you ever heard of 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon? In this instance, we have 1 degree of Leo, I think.
Yes, exactly. All roads lead through Leo.
I've been producing on the East Coast for the last 5 years, and I moved out to L.A. About a year ago. Just wanted to take my entertainment practice a little more seriously, and my producing a little more seriously. So I was here in New York, and I'm from the Caribbean, so I chose the sunshine and the palm trees, I guess. But I knew Leo as an actor. I didn't know he was a writer, and he, showed me the piece. And what attracted my producer's eye, I guess, is the universal themes. I mean, this isn't an African-American piece, not that there's anything wrong with that, but I think the themes are universal, whether you're black, white, gay or straight, even man or woman. If you're a woman who knows men, you can relate to what the piece is about. And with my producer hat on, I really loved that it was both intelligent and accessible.
I love that.
I didn't
Yes.
grow up in the theater. I didn't grow up going to theater as a kid. I'm new to the theater, relatively speaking. And so I think I look at pieces with the layman's eye,
Okay.
I like to say. And that's why I like this piece, because whether you're a hardcore theater goer, it will be attractive to you, or you're just maybe a first time or not a regular theater goer. It's accessible to everyone. But at the same time, it doesn't insult the audience intelligence, right?
Right.
I don't want to start
right.
calling names, but we know a lot of
Yes.
the work in our pop culture. It's insulting to your intelligence, but this addresses these universal themes in an intelligent way, but at the same time, it's so accessible. I think people, if they get a chance to see it, they're going to love it. And as a producer, my eyes are always on the money, I guess, at some point. But the commercial appeal to it, I saw that because I feel like it can reach all audiences, but still be quality work. And I like to find that balance in the work I choose to do.
Your point is so well taken. We had some wonderful guests in studio last week. It's 2 women, 2 shows, 1 stage. And they were talking about, in their pieces, their experiences as women as it relates to their relationships with men.
Right.
And so I thought when we were putting the idea together of looking at companion pieces, that this would be a great follow-up, because we got an opportunity to hear some of the inside views of what the woman's experience is in terms of, particularly in their particular case, with relationships. And here, when I got a chance to see this work, it gave us some insight. And there was a predominantly female audience.
Right.
And what was brilliant about it was identifying how these women were able to relate to this material by hearing it from and peeling back the layers and the honesty,
Right.
that maybe they would very rarely be connected to that conversation from a male perspective, something that only the men would discuss with other men.
Right. And I like to think that's what Rana brought to the piece in a lot of ways, is that she brought it from locker room talk among men to, putting a nice edge on it so that women will enjoy it too. Now, the piece is honest,
Yes.
brutally honest, some of the sketches, so we didn't lose any of that. But I think, having the female touch was nice to it. And to me, that's to her credit.
Thank
to
you.
be able to write, about men.
Well, and people ask me about that a lot. They say, was that difficult for you? And interestingly enough, it wasn't, because I think when you are peeling back the layers, the human experience, human emotions are not male or female. They're not black or white or religious. They're just human emotions and human experiences. And if you're dealing with them honestly, it transcends all of that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, listen, we've been talking about the piece, and we've got these brilliant actors. Seth, I'm going to come to you, and I'm going to ask you, would you be kind enough to share with us one of the pieces
Sure.
From the production
Okay.
that you had the opportunity of performing?
Sure, no problem. This is called Happy Father's Day. I really hate this McDonald's parking lot. I mean, not because it's crowded and narrow and dirty, but what it represents. How did I get here? I know I drove here today, but how did I get here? When I met you, you had spirit. Your eyes used to dance, and I thought to myself, yeah, I could get down with that. So we danced a little, and we drank a little, and the next thing I know, my world revolves around this McDonald's parking lot. It's your body. I get it. And I don't really have a right to tell you what to do with your body, but your body became home to our somebody. So what about my rights? What about my right to not have to come to this McDonald's parking lot every other Saturday until I've lost all my spirit? I had dreams. I had plans, and they didn't include you. You knew who I was. I never lied to you. I never sold you dreams of somebody that I could not be. Yet here I am, a hollow shell of a man with nothing left to give, but give I must. Is that just? Choice. You threw that word around like candy at Halloween. I don't choose this, and I don't choose you. Yet here I am, alone, living a life that's not my own. You understand? Father, provider, reasonable? How can that be? I have badges and titles that you chose for me. I don't love you, and you don't love me. So why did two become three? I know I have a part to play, but girl, I tell you, I'm not amused. But I don't get to walk away. So I come here every other Saturday. Now here you come. Happy Father's Day. To me.
Bravo. Oh, man. Woo! Huh. You see, listening audience and viewing audience, this is why this kind of work you've got to be one who is a participant in. You've got to support this kind of work. You see, here is an exposure into one's life that you would probably not get an opportunity to see. The writing is so brilliant.
Thank you.
The writing is so brilliant because it really is, it speaks that which people think but don't say. And that's what's magical about it. Listen, we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break, and then I want to come back. I want to ask you, Seth, if this in any way, and when you were performing these pieces, how did it affect you in your own personal life? We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned. Yes, 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 yes. The music of Kevin Toney from Kevin Toney's new release, A New American Suite, and that was called In God We Trust. We appreciate Kevin Toney affording us to have his music on our show. Now, Seth, my friend, tell me, in terms of your own personal experience as you perform this material, did you find in any way, some way that you could relate personally to this?
Definitely. I mean, the whole piece as a whole. I mean, it's really, really strong stuff, and it's just a gift. Like this is when you're an actor and you read something like this, you're like, this is something that I want to do.
Yes.
Because I don't get to do anything like any of these pieces, and to have the opportunity to play a character like this, it's just a real gift.
Yes.
And when Rana picked up the phone, I said yes.
Thank you,
There was
Dad.
no hesitation.
No hesitation. I said yes, of course,
That's the deal, is good actors want to do good work.
of course.
You know, and I think that becomes something that people don't often realize, that good actors want to do good work because, one, it stretches you. It gives you the opportunity to bring back that which you really started in this whole game to be involved in. I think we've got a caller on the line, and I'm hoping it is Mr. Leo Breckenridge. Hello.
Obba.
Ha! It's him.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, Conroy, Rana, what's going on?
Hi,
How you
Papi.
doing?
Demetrius, Seth, what's going on?
How you doing?
What's going on, brother?
You guys look amazing. I'm looking at you guys right now like a stalker.
Leo, thank you for calling in. Let me tell the listening audience, this is Leo Breckenridge, and he is originally from Tidewater, the area of Virginia originally, by the way of Washington, D.C. metropolitan area. He has toured in the U.S. as an actor under the great direction of award winner Hinton Battle, who is a dear friend of mine and a great performer, and he is a 3-time Tony Award winner. Can you imagine that? How about that? 3 times he hit the bell. Leo is a host in his own right, and he is really the gentleman who really this piece was conceived from and by. So, Leo, would you be kind enough to share with us, you know, how you gave birth to this idea and this piece?
Absolutely. I think everybody knows that I actually went to go see For Colored Girls, the film that Tyler Perry put out. I ended up in the barbershop. I'm a weekly person at the barbershop. And I was at the barbershop, and there was an argument going on. The fellas felt like the film was very attacking of the male, of men in general. So I always thought about, the first thing I thought about was what the rapist would have said from the morgue after he was killed, after raping the lady in yellow. So I wrote a piece called Rape. And then I also was inspired by the piece called My Stuff, and I wrote a response to that from a male perspective. But from there, after meeting Rana and doing the different things that we did to get to where we are now, it became this whole other thing of like an opportunity for us as men to say it, like to just say it out loud. We typically just keep it to ourselves or suppress them or whatever, but this was the opportunity where we could actually just say it. And the rest has gone on from there. I mean, T.C. Carson came on to direct it.
Oh, hallelujah.
Yep.
And he came in and saw things that I would have never, ever been able to see. And that went up, is a lot of what you saw, Obba.
Yes.
So that's how that kind of went.
Yes, we'll talk about the great T.C. Carson a little later in the program, who is the person who actually directed this stage reading last weekend. We'll talk about he's a great talent, and it's so exciting for me to see T.C. branching out into the directorial aspect. Leo, firstly, thank you for your courage, as you said, to really just say it. Just put it out there and say it. Because as men or males, we do have a tendency to really be somewhat stoic about those things that affect us on a very deep level because of the perception that one might appear to be weak or one might appear to be whining about something, when actually our journey is clearly challenging on levels that females their journey is different. And so
Exactly.
I think that even in the effort for us to continue to grow in terms of the gender relationships relating to one another, I think it is very important that we get an opportunity to hear how each other feels about things that are going on inside of us, that the girls will discuss with their girlfriends and the guys will discuss with their male friends, but we don't talk to one another about it in an open, free expression. And this piece, that's the brilliance of theater. We get an opportunity to tell the story as it were, as it is, and as it probably will continue to be if we don't continue to talk about it. Leo, I know you're shooting right now, and I thank you so much for taking the time to break in out of your, to our show here and add your brilliance. We're going to continue to talk about your show here and
Okay, cool.
get back to handling your business, my man. And
I will. I just wanted to say real quick.
Yes.
And also, I want to thank you because as you have been a mentor to us, to many of us. Demetrius spoke of it, and I'll speak of it now. And what you're doing with Masterpiece Theater, it's given the opportunity for us as artists to birth some honest work. And I really appreciate you for that. So I feel like I'm just a constituent of my ancestry at this moment, and I'm just doing things that I know are of good rapport, and that that's something that you could be proud of, and just something that we could do that actually could be really good and be lucrative at the same time. So I'm just excited to do it. Thank you for having us on the show, guys. I'm sorry I can't be there, but y'all are doing an amazing job. I'm gonna go ahead and get back to Very Smart Brothers.
All right.
Plug that for them, Rana.
Yes, I got you, baby. I got you.
Okay, and I'll talk to y'all later, man. I love everybody in that room.
We love you too, Papa.
Ain't nothing y'all can do about it.
That's his favorite saying.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. Listen, that brings me to continuing this discussion. Dimitri, tell me, my man. In terms of as an artist and as an individual, your feeling about this work that you're getting an opportunity to perform.
Well, very simply, what draws me to this piece is that it's provocative. You have things like the Vagina Monologues, and you really don't have a complement to that in writing and in theater performance. Really, even in film. Men are often associated with proverbial colloquialisms like the strong silent type, or a man doesn't complain, a man changes, and these are things that we grow up as boys into manhood. These are things that we kind of wear on our shoulders, and what Leo and Rana have been able to accomplish here is to give us an opportunity to express those inner thoughts and feelings that men have kind of because of, I guess, social responsibility, have had to bottle up and have had to not really express. So it's just a great platform to talk about those things that are sometimes controversial, but nonetheless provocative, and are a voice of many men who have had to be silent.
And if I may say, that was one of the driving forces behind the piece. When Leo came to me with the concept, and that's why I responded so immediately to it, because you're right. There are, women have all these platforms, and we're taught from an early age, it's okay to cry, express yourself, and y'all know we will.
We love you for it.
But having been married for 9 years, I know what it's like to live with the strong and silent type. And I think, as we want our relationships and our understanding of each other to get better, it's important that men have a voice, and that's what I responded to immediately when Leo came to me with it, and what we tried to do with our writing.
Have you identified in the performing of this piece that it's healing?
So healing. I'm going to try not to cry on the radio. Yes, because a lot of these pieces were drawn from personal experience and pain that both Leo and I have carried around for a long time. And I will remember for the rest of my life sitting in our auditions looking for actors and hearing somebody read my pain back to me. And I did start healing that very moment. And it's a gift. It's a gift as a writer, as an actor, as a person. And yes, so yes is the very tearful answer to that question.
No, that's beautiful. You know, let me just add a little something that I experienced. Leo's mom and aunts were at the reading that I attended, and I got a chance to meet them after. And Leo's mom said to me, "Wow, I learned a lot tonight. I really have a new kind of perspective, even on my son." So here we have, even as close as a mother and son can be, that concept of holding on to certain things, or that which the mom or dad may identify but not really know how to bring it into a conversation, to bring it to fore, sort of wanting to just be supportive and feeling, well, maybe it's not my territory.
Right.
Maybe that's not something that I should be talking to them about. And so here, again, even this, and then the extended family of learning something about, and again, I wanted to bring to fore that, ladies and gentlemen, when you see this show, it is a multiracial cast, and they're of all different demeanors, if you will. So there's a piece that it closes, and where each, who are vastly different than each they are to one another, how you identify, I am man. I am man. Demetrius, would you be kind enough, brother, to lay one of the pieces on us that you have an opportunity to do in the production?
Sure. What a piece of work is man. How noble in reason. Famous words from the man himself, Mr. William Shakespeare. The truth of the matter, though, is that we are always noble in reason. The problem is, reason is relative. However, the inner thoughts and feelings that we either innately possess or are taught to hide or suppress, forget, or regret from the time we're kids through adolescence, marching right on up through adulthood, aren't reasonable. To believe that us, the original human, responsible for building, establishing, protecting, sacrificing, and loving, aren't capable of expressive works is conjecture and mainstream media folklore. Whether we talk about them or choose to tamp them down, these thoughts, these feelings, we do have. We carry them. We caress them. We shape them. We bear them. They inform us. They shame us. They surprise us. And although it'd be certainly nothing without her, this is a man's world.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to invite you, please, if you are in any way tuned in to what we're talking about here, give us a call, 323-965-1600. That's 323-965-1600. If you'd like to talk about your personal experience as a man or a woman with a man, if you'd like to talk about the idea how these artists have come together with this piece, or if you want to ask them a particular question that we have yet not covered, please call in. We're going to go to a commercial break, and I'll be looking for your calls when we get back. Thanks so much. Stay tuned.
Baby, I'm hurting, and I just want to talk to you. This condition you left me in, it's like hell. Hell meaning not good, because I'm missing you. Can you touch the glass in which my heart lies in solitary confinement, and I'm doing time behind this love and all of our insecurities, and I'm wondering what happened to the you and me. See, in relationships, we value the communication of lips and hips overlooking scars and rips and things that makes us trip. So what am I to you and what are you to me? Human with humanistic qualities making unplanned mistakes. To wishing we would have kept it real from first dates. Hell to not knowing we weren't compatible until it was too late. As our bodies intertwined into that hell-like heat. Not understanding but realizing we had the power to make each other weak. Speechless from sleepless nights. Some from lovemaking and some from fights. Knowing that this soon would be a topic of discussion, fervently trying to avoid the repercussion, trusting that love would keep us together and not sure whether our future paths will be the same, to hoping this time we've invested hasn't been in vain, to one day wishing to share the same name. But what am I to you, because things seem to have changed. I mean, remember when I was your good news, your what you needed after going through the blues, your early morning cup of tea. You said you could drink me forever. You said if you had to choose a seasoning, it would be me, because I was your favorite flavor, your better half. When facing tears and fears, I could always make you laugh. Now I seem to be all the wrongs. Went from singing my name to being the blues in your songs, and I'm just standing here missing how we used to get along. Hoping to rekindle what we had before, but baby, I hate to admit it. I've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out the door. So tell me, what am I to you? Because I don't seem to know anymore.
The spoken word of Inspire. A previous guest on our show. We love honoring those that have come before us. Inspire, thank you so much for that. And the music of Ricardo Love, who is her composer that writes all that music, that underscores that beautifully. I think we have a caller. All right, let's take this call. Caller, you're on the air.
Yeah, hi. This is Mickey. I'm Leo's mom.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, how are you?
Excellent. Obba, thank you so much. This is a beautiful group and discussion. So worthwhile. And obviously, you guys are so talented and smart about this discussion that I just had to call in and say hello and thank you for bringing the issue to the radio waves. I just pray that there are millions of people who are listening because it is worthwhile to start the conversation and to get to know some of the things that are on the hearts of our men.
Amen, Mama.
That is beautiful. And we thank you so much for taking the time. And, as I said to you, and I'll repeat this on air, kudos to you, because Leo is what I think everybody could strive to be. Mm-hmm. And that is, he is a representation of good parenting. And that's what that young man is, and we're honored, and we salute you, and we thank you for calling in, and we'll continue to keep things going, and you continue to support him as well. I know you will.
Thank you, sir. And one more very short comment, and that is that Leo is probably the best example of what it looks like when the village kicks in and does the job that they're supposed to do.
There you have it. There you have it. There you have it. Thank you so much. We'll be talking to you soon.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye.
I think we have another caller. Would you, let's open up the lines. Caller, you're on the air.
Hi, it's Ashley Nicole. How are you, Bob?
Very well. How are you?
I am well. I just, first, I just have to give kudos to all of the cast members. I had an opportunity to view and watch this piece, and I do have some questions. And I guess my first question is to the cast members who are there. It was very hard for me to kind of watch as a woman because I did not know that that a lot of my brothers and my other brothers were feeling this way. Were there any pieces in this play that kind of you felt excited about, and you felt that really encapsulated what you have been thinking or kind of wanting to express but necessarily didn't have the opportunity? And if so, could you tell me that piece and why it was important to why it was important to you guys?
All right, which one of you guys want to take that?
I think "I'm Done" was a piece that hasn't been performed today, but was performed in the performance we did last week at the Nate Holden Theater, and why that piece encapsulates an ideology that I think we all have is that as men it speaks almost fatalistically to almost as if literally the piece goes on in a succession. It says, the guy says, I'm done being this, I'm done being that, and all of these titles that are associated with archetypal or stereotypical manhood. And during the piece we see the guy basically throw these shackles off of what a man is supposed to be, and he basically becomes very comfortable within himself and communicates that to the audience, that he's comfortable with the man that he is and accepting that. And that's one of the ones I think is very important and encapsulates I think something that's shared by most men. You can't speak for all men, but I think, Seth, maybe if there's one you want to mention that you
Sure. I would probably have to say pain would be the one that and not necessarily the subject matter, but just the fact that men can be so fragile and a raw nerve, and I think sometimes the silence hides those things, and I think being given the opportunity to really open up that door and show you how fragile and raw we can be it was a really powerful moment. So.
How did you feel? You caller, thank you for calling again. You said it was uncomfortable at times watching. Oh, okay. She's already gone. All right. Do we have another call on line? Hello, caller. Welcome to Masterpiece Theater. You're on the line.
Hey, Obba, it's Denham.
Denham, how are you, brother? Thank you for calling in.
No problem. I always enjoy listening to the show. I just wanted to add, obviously I haven't had the opportunity to watch this, but just listening today, I find that it's extremely important for things like this to make it to the mainstream media, if at all possible, because I think that this completely changes the mindset in which people view, African Americans and just males as a culture. And it is like the gentleman was just saying, like breaking out the shackles of what it's like to be a male and to be a man, and saying that it is okay to have feelings, it's okay to communicate, it's okay to, I cry, it's that, because these are feelings, they're human emotions that go all the way back to the biblical times. And, now in this 21st century, it's looked down upon. You're not a man, suck it up, don't say anything. And I think that it's just so invigorating to be able to just be a part, as far as just being able to listen and know that great things like this are out there. And that they will make a difference. It's just continuing to push it forward and keeping it in the right people's mindset. Because for men in general, this has become like a huge hindrance to growth.
Yes.
So, I'm extremely excited. God bless all of you guys in continuing this work. And I could tell that obviously everyone's heart is in the right place and everyone's extremely passionate about it. And so, I just wanted to at least call and, let you know that there's other people that are even younger that extremely appreciate this, because this paves the way for a better opportunity and a better mindset.
Yes.
People that are younger generation don't even have a jumping off point to know what it's like to have a positive male, or to have somebody that you can look at and know that it's okay to have feelings. So just wanted to add that.
Thank you so much, Denham. Thank you so very much. Listen, as we talk about this, guys, please, share with us, if you will, what are the plans for this production? Now, we've got everybody excited about it. What's the next stage?
Well, I think the next stage, what we need to do, we need money, and we need to workshop it. We want to extend it a little longer. Obviously, it was created as a theater piece. In my worldview, it would go on to be maybe a special broadcast for television. If you ask me where I want this to be in 3 years, I want it to be performed at every college campus and every major city in the world in every language. I think it's that important.
So if someone wanted to contact you, to say, well, listen, we're ready to put this thing on within the next 3 weeks, or we want to talk to you about how we can get together, how would they reach out to you?
They reach out to Conroy Harding because he is our all businessman. Actually, they can reach out to anybody. They can reach us through your station.
Okay.
If you want, I can give my email address or give it to you.
Okay, well, you'll give it to me, but Conroy, tell us how might somebody reach you? If you if you have a contact for them, let's give it to them right now while they're listening.
I'm
Give it
debating
to
if I want to give my cell phone number.
You can get mine.
Well, to answer your other question directly, our plans for 2013 are to we conceptualize this as a theater piece.
Okay.
What Rana said is true, that I think it can be successful on other platforms, but I'd really like to see it developed as a theater piece, and this might be a jumping off point to talk about TC and what he's brought to the piece as a director. The brother is a genius.
Yes.
He really is. I mean, he's taken these words, and just through the little mini workshop that we did, about 2-3 weeks of rehearsals, I mean, where he brought it was amazing. So I would like to see, it's a brand new baby, and I'd like to see it develop more and give TC the chance to play with it.
Really
and
explore it.
Explore it and do a workshop. So we're envisioning 4 weeks of workshopping in 2013, and then a short 4-week run here in Los Angeles.
We'd also like to try for the Fringe.
Right. Maybe the Fringe, but those two things, a workshopping run and then a short run somewhere here in Los Angeles, and then from there, we'll see. So
all right. Well, listen. Ladies and gentlemen listening, you know the name T.C. Carson. He came into the populace of one's mindset, attention, in Living Single. He was also. I know he covered the voice of Samuel L. Jackson in one of the properties that was done. I have known TC for, he's also a brilliant singer, which a lot of people may not realize. T.C. Carson has an incredible set of pipes. He's a gentleman and a scholar. And T.C., if you're listening, we congratulate you. We salute you in your new endeavor as a director. And clearly, this piece is a great piece. The work that I saw you do on this past weekend was really wonderful. It really gave us all an opportunity to have the piece come to life without there even being a set, without there being lights.
Right.
And see, that's the magic and majesty of a great director, is being able to take and bring to fore those words in a way that we can envision what the set would be.
And that's the beauty of theater, really, isn't it? It's so intimate and so personal, and you can do so much with very little.
Yes.
Between, the ideas he's tossed around in terms of lighting and music, but it's not, he doesn't see it as a big budget, big set production, but just it's the words are so strong, and let the words carry the piece. But TC really, he didn't pay me to say this. He really is a genius and just a good guy, man.
Yeah.
Joy to work with, right?
I haven't been out in L.A. that long, but just to meet good people is a blessing.
It is.
I always say this, and it's important because L.A. gets a bad rap. People will say, well, L.A. and I just want to say this, that there is no superior ethic to any geographical location.
Okay.
In that place, wherever people exist, they are great, good, or working at it one way or the other.
All right.
You know what I mean? So we have to be careful and mindful, as I think is a better choice of words, that we place a stigma on a place that we all are thriving in.
Right.
You know what I mean? This is Los Angeles, and we're here, and this show is going out around the world with people talking about the work, the good news that we're doing here in Los Angeles.
Right.
I'm telling you, I've been here now about 20 years, and I have met some of the most phenomenal and wonderful people here in Los Angeles. My writer, Mr. Kennedy Goldsby, my producer, Paul Goldsby, hail from this town. And I can tell you the joy and honor in the time that I've had to work with them on the different properties that we've got an opportunity to work with, they are perfect examples of good people doing good things that happen to be living in Los Angeles.
Well said.
I don't know about you, but I was born onto a planet, not into a community.
All right.
And
Amen.
so that's my gift from God. Listen, we could talk about this more and more.
Can I give out the contact info?
I was going to just say, would you be kind enough to give out some contact information?
Sure, you guys
and we can move right.
Call Rana Davis, that's Rana Davis, Davis, directly at 323-272-4308. And the email is rana.davis@gmail.com. Or you can reach me at conroyharding@gmail.com. That's CONROYHARDING@gmail.com. You see my name?
Give it one more time.
It's Conroy, CONROY, Harding, HARDING. It's Conroy like the flower shop, right?
Okay, all right.
ConroyHarding@gmail.com or RanaDavis@gmail.com. See, my name gives away my Caribbean heritage, right?
Yeah.
That's such a Caribbean
And
name.
Obba,
No.
you said good people doing good things. This piece is a good thing. It needs to be done. I think when we are creating art, we should always, the first question we should always ask is, what are we healing?
Yes.
Art and performance. It's healing. You know, they say, laughter is medicine for the soul.
Yes.
That's the first question we should ask ourselves before we play an instrument, before we paint a picture, before we produce a show, before we perform, is what are we healing in society? What are we enlightening? And this is good work that needs to be done because it's giving a voice to people, specifically men, but it's communicating to women the inner thoughts and feelings that may not be as easily expressed in mainstream media.
Right. Well,
or
the
commercially.
key word, I think one of the key words that you said, I agree with everything that you said, is art. You know what I mean? And art is that. It's at a standard of excellence. And this piece represents that. And so do all of you. How many people are in the cast?
5.
Five men in the cast.
5 men.
So wonderful.
me.
Now listen, let me just also say for our listeners now and viewers, those emails to Rana and to Conroy, they're for business.
Yes, please.
right. If you're interested in helping out with the production, that's when you'll please contact them for that. You know, we thank you guys so much for coming out today, for sharing with us. We salute you, Leo Breckenridge. We salute you, everyone in the studio today. We salute our listeners because it is for you that we put these properties out there for you. We're looking to send a message of healing, to send a message of love, and to send a message of that both enlightens, educates, entertains, and also inspires. We thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you'll come back next week right here at Masterpiece Theater, and we're going to have some more phenomenal guests. You can continue to share with others that we exist. We podcast. So if you have someone that you think would be beneficial to hear our show, please tune in. We've got everything lined up. You just go right to the website and click on the show that you want to listen to, and you too will be hopefully blessed. Remember, as I always say, in life, as you do anything, is how you do everything. I'm Obba Babatunde. I thank you so much. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll see you next time. Masterpiece Theater is brought to you by Roscoe's Media Center, sponsored by Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles, the makers of Pitbull Energy Drink. The show is engineered by Poetess, written by Obba Babatunde and Kennedy Goldsby, and produced by Paul Goldsby, executive producer, The Good Herb.